In this first set, 40-15, down 3-5. Had two golden opportunities in the last game, couldn't convert. Agassi from Las Vegas, Nevada, 22.
Whoops.
40-30.
And Boris has really been putting the pressure on Andre's second serve. He's been chipping and coming in. And I think that Andre wanted to get a deep second serve, and then as a result, you're going to make more double faults.
His second.
Game Agassi.
So Agassi alive in the opening set, 5-4 Becker. Let's go over to court one, where from the outside facilities here at Wimbledon, 18 courts in all. And on this most famous lawn, it's Andre Agassi staring at Becker's big guns as Becker serves for the opening set.
What battles these guys have had. 1990, the semifinals at the U.S. Open. Becker won the first set, staying back in a tiebreaker, 13-11, and then Agassi wiped him out. In 1989, they played one of the stupendous Davis Cup matches.
What an acrobatic return by Agassi.
Well, I think that's one example. I'll talk about this a little later, about why Becker doesn't come into the net a little bit more against Agassi.
Oh!
Bob Brett, who used to coach Boris Becker,
15-0.
has a reply for all those critics who say, how come Becker stays back and tries to trade ground strokes? Well, this is the reason right here, because he's not that fast coming into the net. He's not as fast, Bob Brett believes, that many people give him credit for.
Becker, 6'3", almost 200 pounds. Agassi getting a racket on it, and that was a moral victory. Fouled it back into the royal box area.
Andre just flinging himself at the ball. Great form.
Double fault to 30 all, fourth by Becker. He opened his first service game with two double faults, but then rattled off 4 straight points to deny Agassi. Agassi 2 points from 5 all. Becker 2 points from a 1-set lead.
Well, it was really great anticipation by Boris, because Andre at this point could have gone either way, down the line or cross court, and Boris was there before he even hit the ball. And that's what won him the point.
First set to Becker, 6-4. Will return to Wimbledon, the 1992 championships in a moment. already owns the first set 6-4.
Forehand is giving him trouble today. He's had balls to tee off on, but for some reason, why, Chrissy, isn't he clearing the net?
I think he's rushing. He wants to make a winner too early a stage. That's what grass does to you. You feel like the first or second shot, you have to go for it.
Juice.
Boris really more known for his strength than his quickness around the court, although he is very quick for someone that big.
Agassi putting on some pressure, attacking behind that deep setup.
And I was curious to see if he was going to serve and volley this match, because he has done in his previous matches. He's not really doing it this match, but the good thing is he's taking that weak return and coming into the net.
Game to Agassi to open the second set. Becker won the first 6-4. Andre Agassi, like so many athletes, enjoys the game of golf as well. He golfs left-handed, has a 9-hander throughout this fortnight until yesterday. Light sprinkles and rain, a little heavier this morning, but it cleared about noon. Play was only delayed about a half hour. It continues to be overcast, but lightly so, and it would appear that there's no more heavy rain scheduled for today.
Ready to play. Players are ready.
What an opening match on center court. Pete Sampras in 3 brilliant sets, dismissing the defending champion Michael Stich. Sampras, who had won only 1 Wimbledon match prior to this year, in 3 appearances, is all the way to the semifinals. And will meet the winner of this match. Will it be Becker, or will it be an All-American semi with Agassi?
Oh, 15-love.
So Agassi has dropped 3 sets in the tournament, all the first set. Hear the roar over on court 1, where it is Ivanisevic on serve, and he has just broken Edberg to take a 5-3 lead. Ivanisevic will now. There was so much noise from court 1 in the Edberg-Ivanisevic finale, they couldn't concentrate. Listen.
Very interesting over there. It seems like every 10 seconds. You know what's going on on your phone or so? Well, tell us what's going on court 1. We're really interested out here.
So they resume play with Becker up a set, but Agassi leading 3-love, and it's Becker serving 30-love in the 4th game. That reflective of the personalities of both, that in the tenseness of their own quarterfinal duel, that they could go over and relax and enjoy a moment.
I just think it's great to see Andre so loose and such a good mood this whole week. You know, he had so many expectations at the French, and I think he played. It reflected his play. He was very tight, and now on grass, no one really expects much from him. There's less pressure here, and he's having a great time.
His backhand has been sizzling. Well, Andre says that he really was wrong in not playing the Australian this year, and he felt he fell behind everybody by not going to Melbourne in January.
Another backhand return from Agassi to 30-all. So 2 higher seeds have fallen in 2 of the 4 matches today, as Sampras knocks out Stich. Ivanisevic gets the scalp of Edberg. If that pattern continues, Boris, Becker, beware. Agassi's the 12th seed. Becker number 4.
sign of a great net player is not only how well you execute those volleys, but how you anticipate them.
That's twice he's looked down the line rather than for the cross court, and he was right both occasions.
Ooh, I thought he had the ace. Roy Olwyn called fault immediately.
Slightly touching.
This match now just a bit over an hour long. Boy, those backhand returns have been rifle shots.
But Boris looks like he's taken a little bit of speed off his serve. He's almost serving 3/4 speed that he normally does.
Advantage Becker.
Here comes a serve that has helped produce a 46-5 Wimbledon record.
And he really turns well on his serve, and because he bends his knees so well, he can really extend himself high and reach for the ball.
He's coming at you from well over 7 feet. Biggest man, really, in bulk and height ever to win the U.S. Open.
Boy, he clocked this one beautifully, right in the middle of the racket.
Advantage Becker.
Catch his foot on the turf or what?
Boris a little off balance after this. Ooh,
Oh, he
yeah.
slipped, yeah.
The court a little slick out there right now.
Advantage Becker.
Number 6.
Boris trying to keep his serve away from the Agassi backhand. Good strategy.
Good play, Andre. If he won't come to the net, you do it.
I think this is the nice thing we've seen about Andre this whole tournament. He's really showed a willingness to take chances and come to the net. It's still against his nature a little bit, but he's done it very well.
Advantage Becker.
In case you're just joining us, Andre Agassi, Boris Becker at center court, Wimbledon, quarterfinals. Becker took the opening set 6-4. Agassi is up a break here in the second. Leading 3-love, advantage Becker. Earlier, Pete Sampras defeated the defending champion, Michael Stich, in straight sets very impressively. He's to the semis.
Game Becker.
Game Becker, it's 3-1. It's Wimbledon 92, the championships. We'll be back after these words from your local
Agassi
station.
leads 3-1.
The two major show courts, court 1 in the foreground, famed center court in the background. the crown jewel of this incredible complex at the All England Club. And we look in now on court one. John McEnroe, the longest shot left, 30th ranked in the world, against the 9th seed, Guy Forget. Forget, the man who disappointed all of England, knocking out their long shot hopes, Jeremy Bates. And McEnroe's had a marvelous championship, playing with some of the adroitness of his champion days in the early 80s.
Started off with Luis Matara, Brazilian, lost the first set, then won easily. Patrick Cash, the battle of former champions, went right down to the wire, 6-2 in the 5th for McEnroe. Then he beat number 16 seed, the American David Wheaton from Lake Minnetonka, Minnesota. Wheaton, a semifinalist last year. That was straights for McEnroe, 3-4 and 4. And finally, Andrei Olkhovsky, the Russian qualifier who had ousted Jim Courier, 7-5, 6-3, 7-6, 12-10 in the breaker. So here McEnroe is. And Guy Forget, left-hander, who is over his scores. Alex Mrons, German, that took 4 sets. Anders Jared, Swedish Davis Cup player, 10-8 in the 5th. He was an escaper, this Forget. Then a very emotional battle with the left-hander Henri Leconte. The two of them, Leconte and Forget, won the Davis Cup over the United States last November in Lyon. But adversaries there. Leconte came to the 4th set, couldn't go any further. And then Jeremy Bates. Forget making Britain weep because Jeremy Bates had a match point, the Englishman, in the 4th set. Couldn't quite make it, and so here is Forget against McEnroe, a pair of lefties.
So the battle of southpaws on court one. Meanwhile, over on center court, Agassi held its 4-1 in their second set and will return to tennis action. Forget and McEnroe. Forget leading in their series 2-1. Welcome back to Kenberg with Chris Everett, Bud Collins, Hannah Storm from Wimbledon, John McEnroe ready to go to work against Guy Forget. McEnroe, the oldest left in the championship, and one of the oldest who began in the draw of 128. Coached now by Larry Stefanki, the son-in-law of former NBC analyst John Brody, the ex-San Francisco 49ers star who's now enjoying the seniors golf circuit. McEnroe, lifetime here at Wimbledon, only 10 defeats in 68 singles appearances. He's also, of course, involved in the doubles championship this year, teaming with Michael Stieck. It is an incredible partnership, and they're still going in the doubles side. But singles today, the winner on to the semifinals.
To see two lefties playing each other. You see John in his short backswing. Not a big topspin. John has a very short, effective blocking of the ball.
Forget has been complaining throughout the tournament of his difficulty in running on grass. He's not comfortable, even though he's a good fast court player.
Love 30.
A late call of fault. Forget, lanky, 6'3". Born in Casablanca, Morocco, and now makes his home in Marseille and Neuchâtel, Switzerland. He lost to Becker last year in the quarterfinals here. And trying to move through the quarterfinals against McEnroe today. Alain Lambert, his coach. About as high a ranking as Forget at age 27 has earned in the top 10.
Splendid Davis Cup settling victory over Pete Sampras in Lyon.
15-40.
So 2 break points for McEnroe to open the match. John McEnroe looking for his 78th career title in singles against Guy Forget. McEnroe with 7 Grand Slam wins, 3 at Wimbledon, 4 U.S. Opens.
30-40.
Well, this situation doesn't surprise me. John winning the first game. This is what he's done so beautifully this whole tournament, is return to serve. We all know how great his serve is, but he's really been blocking it back and taking it early.
Forget saving 2 chances for McEnroe to break for an early lead.
John in very good spirits last night after he and Michael Stich won a doubles.
Well, based on their early play, that doubles team of Stich and McEnroe, they've taken care of the defending champions here, Jarrett and Fitzgerald.
Advantage McEnroe.
And have just mowed down the competition with brilliant play. It's been exceptional, and word has gotten around that when they're playing, the crowds form quickly to see their doubles matches. Refreshing to see so much interest in the doubles side.
Well, they're not seeded, of course, playing for the first time, but they've beaten 2 seeded teams.
Double fault, Forget, and McEnroe has the early lead. We'll return live to Wimbledon after this. Wimbledon report. That's all tomorrow from the All England Club. Now back on court 1, Guy Forget and John McEnroe, and it's McEnroe 1 point away from a 2-love lead.
So it's okay, and the machine came good too.
Umpire explaining something regarding the Cyclops to Forget, and McEnroe saying, all right, can I go ahead here? 40 love. He couldn't wait to serve that one. 2 aces in his game. 2-love McEnroe.
McEnroe leads by 2 games to love.
And this is the favorite serve of a left-handed player, serving wide to that backhand corner, getting the opponent off the court. I saw that served many times against Martina.
She gave it to you a few times, huh?
Only on big points. Unfortunately for me.
Well, that's it with a southpaw. Usually it's that advantage point where they can use that can opener.
Reminds me of Luke Jensen, a very good doubles player who serves either right-handed or left-handed, and when he needs it in that ad court, he goes to the left hand. It's like calling in a relief pitcher. Saw him befuddle Lendl in Rome doing that in a doubles match. He's from Ludington, Michigan.
Interesting, Bud. It's going to be a championship, at least to this point, for left-handers. What are the odds? 1 out of 10 are southpaws. There are going to be 4 left-handers at least into the semifinals. 2 women and 2 men.
McEnroe really waited until Forget committed himself here and then caught Forget off balance for a netted volley.
40-15.
The winner of this southpaw duel will meet Goran Ivanisevic through. He's a lefty, and of course that'll be 2 of them. Pete Sampras will await Becker and Agassi. That'll be all right-handed. Martin and Sellis are left-handers, and they are matched against each other tomorrow in the women's semifinals.
Well, this John McEnroe doesn't necessarily overpower you all the time, but boy, look at this finesse and this touch that he has.
He just improvised that. He would love straight sets. He's keeping that down in his thinking, but he'd like to get through this quickly because he has to return to the court this evening for doubles. Oh!
And that return of serve really set up this whole point for John.
No trouble moving for Forget there, but it was in vain.
So McEnroe with a break point. Let's switch quickly to center court, where Andre Agassi has a set point as Becker serves 30-40.
Backhand return set this up.
A point from squaring this match, a set each, and gets a second ball. It's good. Second. Andre Agassi, 6-2. They're even at 1-all. Let's go back to court one.
And Andre finally hit a big forehand.
Forget has saved a break point over here. And it's deuce. McEnroe with a 2-love lead this opening set.
Advantage, Forget.
And John really not having enough sting on that return. Forget just followed it for a winner. Blocks the ball back, but with not enough pace.
Game Forget. Wimbledon, a brilliant day. This quarterfinal action for the men will return.
By 2 games.
John McEnroe serving with a 2-1 lead in the opening set. Action from court one. The winner knows that he will be matched in the semis against the 20-year-old Croatian Goran Ivanisevic. Well, McEnroe, the only hope he had is duck below the net, hold his racket up, and hope Forget would hit it.
That was a pretty brave move. Forget coming up with some good returns down right at his feet. And moving in because he senses that he has a setup.
So love 30 chance for Forget down a break.
Oh, he might have missed it. Good.
Boy, that looked close.
I saw no space at all. So good.
John going for the lines, maybe going for a little bit too much.
Forget questioned it, and umpire George Grime.
Big space between you, that's the problem, okay? Open your eyes, come on.
And George Grime said he saw no space between ball and line.
Watch on the TV tonight.
Match of the day.
Little plug for BBC.
Maybe too late.
5, please. Thank you.
Tonight as well.
14-30.
And John really in trouble this game, but boy, closed it on the net well there.
I'd like to see him and Monica Seles play mixed double, or hear them play mixed doubles.
So from love 30, a game point, McEnroe to go 3-love.
Game, McEnroe.
And so it is. You're watching live Wimbledon 92. We'll be back after these words from your
McEnroe
local
leads
station.
by 3-1.
Court 1 in the foreground were John McEnroe and Guy Forget in the first set of their quarterfinal match. And the center court arena, Andre Agassi and Boris Becker are tied a set apiece, and one game all in the third. Here's John McEnroe leading 3-1 against Guy Forget, and another brilliant shot by McEnroe. Forget serving, it's 30-all. Agassi has held, and it's on serve 2-1 in the third set on center court. Winners in to the semis, Goran Ivanisevic and Pete Sampras. So far, a day of modest surprise at Wimbledon. The longer shots, the higher seeds, have beaten the favored seeds. McEnroe unseeded, 30th rank in the world against Forget, 9th seed. And Mac with a break point to go 4-1. McEnroe with a break point chance in every Forget service game.
Deuce.
John missing that return, but I'm so impressed with his return to serve right at Forget's shoestrings. Forget being so tall doesn't really like to get down and bend that low. It's been very effective.
Who does?
Well, if you're short, it's a lot easier.
You're down there.
A milestone of sorts for McEnroe. This is his 200th Grand Slam singles match. He's won 163 times. Ooh, that's a
jammer.
goalie block. Didn't even get a racket on it.
Simply get some control over this crowd so that at every single point we
Right
get
into his body.
going.
Ladies and gentlemen, quiet please during play and during the service preparation. Thank you.
Sometimes, you know, someone talking, make that ball come right in and hit you like that. Forget with the ace. He holds. McEnroe with a break lead, 3-2 in the opening set.
McEnroe leads by 3-2.
Let's switch to center court, where we're in the third set, 30-love. Becker serving 1-2.
That serve's been very effective for Boris.
His 11th ace, excuse me, Chris.
Wide to the forehand, keeping it away from Andre's big backhand return. He's hit a lot more winners off his backhand side today. And this has been the big difference in that between the first set and the second set. Andre's return to serve now. He's seeing the ball a lot better, a lot earlier.
First service.
I think Boris has to mix it up a bit more.
Game Becker.
It's 2-all. A set each, 2-all, dead even. This quarterfinal match.
You know, I think this is a very good strategy, this drop volley. Boris has hit quite a few of them because the ball is just dying. The grass is a little bit damp. It's not coming up.
First service.
Well, Andre hasn't lost serve since the 7th game of the match.
Well, 3 Americans have not graced the semi-final schedule at Wimbledon for 10 years. In '82, Connors, McEnroe, and Tim Mayotte all made it to the semis. Of course, we're far from that point. But there is the opportunity, as Sampras is there, and Agassi and McEnroe are battling to join their 20-year-old American friend.
30 love.
Tim Mayotte was tempted to play one more Wimbledon this year, decided not to. And he quit the game with a higher ranking than Andre Olhovsky, who beat Jim Courier.
Grand guy, Mayotte, who's going to be a TV commentator, and we wish him well.
40 love.
Pretty aggressive serving from Andre. He doesn't need to come into the net if he's going to serve like that.
You see the time on the left of the scoreboard, 4:12 in the afternoon. You're watching live from Wimbledon. This match 139 in length. We have 2 hours scheduled for Wimbledon today, so obviously we're not going to be able to show you the completion of these 2 matches. As Agassi holds on serve, 3-2 in the 3rd.
Agassi leads 3-2, 3rd set.
Welcome back, Andre Agassi, Boris Becker. In the middle of the 3rd set, on serve, a set each. And first point of this game, service returned by Agassi.
Got the forehand.
Now above 30.
Once again, this return to serve really set up this whole point. He's really watching the ball and seeing it come so early. As soon as Boris serves, he can see the direction that serve is taking.
That shot also told us something else, Chris. The height of the bounce. No skid there. It just sat there for Agassi to whip at it.
15-30.
And there's the Becker serve when in trouble. His 12th.
See Boris really extending high. Look at those knees. It's amazing he doesn't have more knee problems. He's really getting down.
Andre's forehand limp in the first 2 sets, but boy, it's coming through now.
Well, that's a Becker's dozen. 12 plus 1.
And now I'm on the list.
Ah.
30-40.
So a big break opportunity for Agassi. It's his chance after losing the first set. Rallies to win the second. Had a couple of breaks of the Becker serve in that second set. And now, with this point, could take a 4-2 lead in the 3rd. He's converted 2 of 4 breakers. Becker 1 of 5. Andre Agassi leads 4-2 in the third.
Agassi leads 4 games.
Well, this is Andre's biggest strength, the return of serve. How well he hit that.
Six winners, 2 aces from Becker, and Agassi banging out 4 points on untouchables.
That's what he's done so beautifully this whole term, is setting up the point coming in. He's not a natural serve and volleyer, but he can still take advantage of those mid-court balls and come in.
Meanwhile, John McEnroe has broken Forget again. He's up 2 breaks and serving for the first set at 5-2.
Oh!
Andre playing a very good game, not letting up for a minute. The tendency after you break serve is you relax a little bit, but he's playing heads-up tennis right now.
Right after this game, we'll switch to court 1 as McEnroe serves for the opening set, but it's Agassi, 30-15, in the lead, 4-2 in the third against Becker. McEnroe now 30-love in that game.
Whoops.
40-15.
40-15, Agassi. And it's McEnroe 30-love.
And John's volley, pretty defensive volley, not enough aggression behind it. Forget hits a winner.
So set point for McEnroe. 2 of them.
40-15.
I've never seen John so focused and so calm this tournament, and I've been watching him for many years. It's great to see.
That's this year's word, isn't it? Focused.
It's on the line.
A mishit from Forget.
40-30.
He needs this little extra bit of help right here.
Off the frame.
Big wind up.
And that moan you hear from center court. Agassi missing a volley. McEnroe has won the opening set, 6-2. Oh, John McEnroe, the 3-time Wimbledon champion, off to a fine start. Meanwhile, Agassi, serving at 4-2 and 40-15, is at deuce.
He missed a very easy volley to get to deuce. He was in tight to the net, had a backhand. All it had to do was roll over, but he netted it.
Advantage, Agassi.
I think that's the first one that he missed. Boris has been very successful with that drop volley. And when you have a winning shot, you should stick with it. So it was the right shot for him to try. Maybe put a little bit too much backspin on it.
Game, Agassi.
Agassi leads 5-2. Becker will be serving to stay in the third set when we come back to the All England Club.
Agassi.
Welcome back, center court. Becker serving, love 15, now 15 all with that service winner. Agassi won the first point of this game with a slashing backhand cross court. Andre 3 points from a 2-set to 1 lead. That hat's gotten some wear there, the way he's been pulling at it nervously.
His backhand is lethal this afternoon.
Couple faults.
And that's the pressure that Andre's been putting on Boris's serve. He doesn't want to give him anything short because Andre's just been so relentless on that return serve. Consequently, he's been double faulting a few times.
7 double faults. Make that 8 now.
Oh, he's just jumping off his feet when he hits those return of serves.
He's so confident of the bounce because the courts have been so hard. He's not worried about a skid or a bad bounce.
2 set points for Agassi for the lead.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
Good serve.
Yeah, Boris he's come up with some good second serves, which he needs. See what Andre does with this return.
Andre Agassi breaks Becker again and leads 2 sets to 1. Of the Americas Championship, the USA Dream Team feature. They're off to a couple of very impressive and crowd-pleasing wins. That's on NBC this weekend, along with the Wimbledon Championships. As we move into the 4th set, Agassi gaining not only the 2nd set, but the opportunity to open the 4th on his serve.
And Boris really has to change his game now. He's got to come into the net a little bit more. If he's going to lose, the best way to lose is to play your own game.
Masquerading as Boris Becker. Oh,
15-30.
Becker broke Agassi's 7th game of the 1st set. That was good enough for the 6-4 win. But since then, it's been all Agassi. He's held his serve while breaking Becker twice in both the 2nd and the 3rd sets, capturing both at 6-2.
Oh, great to see Andre up at the net.
a lot more muscle in that serve than we've seen in previous years.
And he really takes advantage of that by coming in.
It's long. So from love 30 to game point 40-30.
Boris being psychoanalyzed by every German.
Great service game again, digging out from love 30. Andre Agassi in command. We'll take this time to break for our local stations.
First game, 4 set.
afternoon, and of course each evening 11:35 for our Wimbledon update. And Andre Agassi, first point on Becker serve, whistles another return winner.
Once the forehand came into tune, Becker had no place to hide.
Yeah, and he's seeing the ball so early. He's really preparing, getting his racket back, not a full swing. It's really the difference in this match. Return a serve.
The only thing that Agassi's done wrong is to fix that cap. Any baseball lover would have to fail him at the A level. He wouldn't even get to AA with that bend. You got to even those wrinkles out.
But the white hats are still here. Courier disappeared. Agassi took up the headgear. Could he become the chapeau champion? Hasn't been a white-capped winner since Ivan Petra of France in 1946.
Oh. And Boris, as Boris comes in, maybe anticipating a cross-court passing shot, instead gets down the line, totally surprising Becker. Boris has to really start getting some big first serves in and moving the ball around the court a little bit better on that serve, going wide, going down the tee, even jamming Andre a little bit. Like this. I mean, basically he needs to go for the lines or else just go right in the middle of Andre. Keep him guessing, not be predictable.
30 all.
First service.
Becker won the first set 6-4. One break of service. And then Agassi took charge. 6-2, 6-2. Second game, fourth set with Agassi in front. 2-1. Becker 30 all, love one.
Oh, he misplayed that and misjudged it. That ball was going all the way to the fence.
Boris with a good serve, but he hesitated.
Not an easy shot even for the pros, though, that high backhand. And a chance for Agassi to get the lead in the fourth. Second serve.
Whoa.
Very near a double fault.
Whoa.
Becker's home, this cathedral, where he is 26-3 center court, and in his career has lost only 5 times on the grass of Wimbledon. His best record in the Grand Slams, U.S. Open next. In the Australian, he played 11 of those matches on grass and was 8-3. Clay is worst surface, even though that's how he grew up. And Agassi thought that one was long or wide. 14 aces.
Well, this is Boris's filling station. He gasses up in center court, but he never has lost this early. His losses have been finals. His other Wimbledon loss to Peter Dewan, 87 over on court 1.
Did lose outside in his very first year here as a 16-year-old by injury in the 4th round. Bill Scanlon.
Billy Scanlon, right. Cracked an ankle.
And his strength really on the grass is that he totally overpowers most of his opponents. He muscles his returns. Doesn't need to go out there and run around the court a lot. His game is not as effective as, say, the slow red clay course at the French.
Boris has said, I'd rather be number 2 in the world and be Wimbledon champion than number 1 in the world and Wimbledon runner-up.
Becker.
And the ace count continues. 15.
It's the only thing that's keeping him standing.
He gets to that second serve, and Agassi is taking batting practice. Becker holds, survives a game in which Agassi had another break point. It's 1-all.
1 game all, 4 set.
Glennie, your mic is open again when you're talking to Hannah. Just remember. Glennie's mic is open.
Nick Bollettieri, Agassi's coach since he was 13 years of age.
There was a
15 under.
Nick would wear sunglasses in a blizzard. Of course, he may have a little endorsement there, do you think?
Very possible.
He's been very loyal to Andre, and even when Andre left him for a few weeks this year to go to Brian Teacher, Nick was calm about it.
Well, he did get the raw deal with the Monica Seles situation. He did coach Monica, and Monica denied it.
That was strange. Uncalled for.
Well, it's a rare sight to see Boris come into the net.
15-30.
I think he needs to do that a lot more. Slice that backhand, get it down low, so Andre has to hit up.
He's got to start charging. He's got to give it the light brigade stuff. Does Boris. Oh.
Just to update you on court 1, no breaks, although McEnroe had a couple of chances, and it's McEnroe serving 2-3 in the second set, up a set 6-2.
And McEnroe is having a beef at the chair. He has called for the referee, Tony Gathercall, and the supervisor, Ken Farrar, at umpire George Grimes' chair. We don't know what it's about.
Meanwhile, Agassi and Becker have their own concerns, and it's Agassi a point from a 2-1 lead in the fourth. Let's go over to court 1 just to eavesdrop.
You can play it the whole tournament.
When I opened the machine and switched them, this service was clearly wrong. There's no question. The machine was working. I've now asked the landlord to switch them both on, and we'll work them out.
Agassi is held, meanwhile.
It's okay if he switches off after the mistake, but the point is that we played the whole tournament, and you've clearly said that we're playing the machine until it's turned off. Now, why all of a sudden can he overrule? There's no overrules, period. Well, I know the machine's wrong, but why did he could have overruled the first few? But he made a decision. He was going the machine. He told me he was going with the machine. Period.
I didn't say that.
You said that. You said when I asked you over here, you said you were.
All right. We have overruled. He's overruled on a clear mistake in his opinion.
But the point is that there's no. He said that we're playing the machine.
It has to be a point of fact, John, and he overruled
the fact is that he said he was not overruling.
But he didn't say
Everyone
that
said that.
They turned them off now, and they're going by. They turn them off.
Yeah, but you can say, okay, now I'm going to turn it off. But how can you say it after the fact? He says he's turning it off after he's overruling. He can't overrule.
John, he turned it off because he was clearly saw a mistake.
I mean,
he has to go with that.
Yeah, but you said the whole time we're playing the machine. Well, how can you all of a sudden change it now?
Well, he's not.
That's inconsistent.
Yeah, well, we must.
After the fact.
But he has seen a clear mistake.
Tatum O'Neal saying, "Come on, John," as if to say, "Come on, let's go back. You're in the lead. Let's not get distracted."
The fact of the matter is that
he's arguing very rationally. He's not blowing his cool.
When you decide to turn the machines off,
he's caught them. He's caught them, but he ought to give it up because he's not going to win.
He does have a case, that's
he has
for sure.
a case,
He's
but
right.
it's a case he will not win. And Tatum O'Neal and Larry Stefanki, his coach, trying to wave him off, and he's seen the sense of it now.
Sometimes the price of being right can be very expensive. So McEnroe up a set. They're on serve in the second on court 1. Will return to Wimbledon after this. We're back at court 1, where McEnroe is serving 2-3 and leading 40-15 after his long debate with the Wimbledon officials regarding the Cyclops being overruled by the chair umpire. And a point now from 3-all. Of course, this has been the scene of McEnroe's most offensive histrionics, including the Pits of the World commentary.
3 games all.
And here you see John, he's such an instinctive grass court player. He knows where he must be for every shot. You can't teach that. It's very innate.
Your father knows that.
Yeah, I think it more than makes up for the fact that if he's a half step slow, it still makes up for that.
I loved his line the other day. He was disagreeing with Cyclops and said, it hasn't got it right in 15 years.
Well, you always agreed with that.
It hasn't been here for 15 years. But he is very rational in his discourse with Ken Ferrara, the supervisor, and Tony Gathercole, the referee, and George Grime, the umpire. He's never been so composed here.
No, I think Larry Stefanke has to be given a lot of credit for that as coach. Larry has been saying this whole week that, hey, it's not the physical part of John's game that I'm most proud of. It's the fact that mentally he's just been so focused. I try to tell him to play every match like it's every point like it's match point.
There's Tatum, Larry, and on the far left, Sergio Palmieri, John's business manager, an Italian. This Forget has a wonderful bloodline. 2 years ago, when he won the tournament in southern France at Toulouse on the ATP Tour, he was the third in line in his family to win that tournament. His father Paul won it, and his grandfather Pierre. Of course, they were amateur events in those days.
And what makes that interesting, Bud, they were exactly 20 years apart, 46, 66, 86. That means watch out for Mathieu Forget. His son will be 17 in 2006.
And we'll be there to cover it, folks, after this pause.
Merci beaucoup. I wouldn't mind going to Toulouse.
No,
I just hope I'm around in 2000.
Toulouse is okay. You lose at Toulouse, kid.
Speak Zulu there. We're running out of time, sadly, 15 minutes before 5 o'clock London time.
40-15.
And, of course, our commitment to Wimbledon today, 2 hours. We've shared with you all we can. I hope you've been pleased with our coverage. We've offered some more excitement of this 92 championship, and we'll bring you up to date on the scores of the day with Hannah before we leave. And then, of course, 11:35 tonight, you'll get all the results and the key plays. And Chris will join Hannah for her analysis of tomorrow's women's semifinals.
2 ex-champions gone, Edberg and Stich.
Game, Forget.
So Forget on serve, 4-3 in the second. John McEnroe trying to march to the semis.
Ladies and gentlemen.
With Chris Everett and Bud Collins, Dick Enberg at center court. We look in on court 1. John McEnroe serving 15 love.
30 love.
And notches another ace. 30 love. McEnroe won the first set impressively, 6-2. No breaks here in the second. Our coverage live from the All England Club. Again, a reminder, we'll be back with you 11:35 tonight. And tomorrow at 1, 4 hours, the women's semifinals. And we should get in some doubles as well. Hopefully, McEnroe and Stich will be part of our program, depending on the order of play.
They go out later this evening to play against the Dutchmen, Paul Harhuis and Mark Kuvermans.
There are the hands of McEnroe. He makes it 4-all, up a set, and that's the story at court 1.
If you notice what John does on that first volley, he doesn't try to put it away, just tries to get it deep to set up a winner for that third volley. Third shot is the one. That's the one he likes to put away.
Meanwhile, over on center court, Becker with one of those typical Becker dives that we've seen him exercise through the years, and it was a key point at deuce and then has broken Agassi. So Becker now has the lead in the fourth set, 3-2.
Good second serve by Forget, jamming John.
Frequent flyer mileage on that one.
You watch John, how beautifully he moves. Very natural movement. And it's a good idea for a lob, but not deep enough.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please. Thank you.
15 all.
$30-15.
Oldest guy in the tournament, 33.
Talk about John's playing doubles with Michael Steek. I think very few people realize he's such a great doubles player, not because, as you see this good serve of Forget's, but he's a great doubles player because he's such a great team person. Always supporting his partner, never getting down on his partner.
Forget holds on serve deep into the second set, 5-4. McEnroe took the opening set. Let's go back to center court as we're down to the final precious few seconds here on this cloudy Wednesday afternoon. And on center court, Andre Agassi moving along, very much in control, found Boris Becker digging in deeper, and Becker diving onto the court to save some points. Has broken Agassi, leads 3-2 in the fourth. Agassi 2-1. The score, Becker 30-15. And the two men from long distance in some repartee, hoping that Becker missed that first serve, says Agassi. So you're right up to date. We'll be back with Hannah Storm. She'll give you the results of the day and set up the rest of this great Wimbledon championship for you. So long for the moment from Wimbledon. Boris Becker into a fifth set. And this is where he has dominated opponents for the last several years. In fact, he's won the last 8 5-set matches, and buoyed by the comeback in the fourth, serving love one.
About 15.
Now I was interested in seeing if Boris is going to come back today and really play his game and not be lured at the baseline by Andre. And sure enough, the last couple games he's played aggressively.
Maybe he looked into the mirror before he came out here and said, I am Boris Becker, because he sure hasn't acted that way the last 5 times he's played Agassi. Losing each one. Ooh.
About 30.
And those returns so piercing. His serve is sitting up a little bit. Enables Andre to really blast that ball.
And the fact that Agassi gets to the return so quickly on the rise, and that leaves Becker a step farther back from the net. Low 30.
Well, the return really kept him in that point. An incredible return.
right at his feet. Didn't know what to do with it. Should he let it bounce? Should he hit it on the fly? And that uncertainty lost him the point.
3 chances for the lead in this final set. Becker had Agassi at a break point in the first game of the set, but Agassi survived.
15-40.
Becker winning the first set 6-4. Then Agassi took charge of the match. Took the second and third sets relatively easily at 6-2 and 6-2. But Becker, the battler, 6-4 in the fourth. Agassi with the lead.
He was returning like that yesterday. Passing shots, return a serve.
Agassi leads.
If he can
2
keep
games
that
to love,
up,
final
he's in
set.
good shape.
But can he sit on a 1-break lead against Boris Becker? The 5th set against Wayne Ferreira 2 days ago. Spectacular for Becker. They had to play a best-of-1 set match, he and young Ferreira, the South African, 2 sets all at nightfall, and Becker just came steaming out.
15 love.
And Boris will continue to come in off Agassi's second serve. It's a good play for him. But he needs to make those volleys.
Yeah, Becker's had to play every day this week because of delayed matches. Ferreira and then Agassi, both 2-day matches.
Whoa!
30 love.
Andre Agassi, very smart, not coming in on his serve, but waiting for that approach shot. Who says Andre can't volley?
Well, he'll write a book on how I learned to love grass and not fear the volley.
40 love.
He looks very happy on the grass. He looks happier this week on the grass course than he did at the French on the slow red clay.
Good observation.
I think it's more of a challenge for him because it isn't his true surface.
Can it be another American heading for the semis? 3-love in the final set. Can Becker dig his way out again? 30-40.
Oh,
Juice.
Number 18 for Becker. How many times here in center court has he produced that serving magic to dig his way out of trouble? Becker, who has found this to be a comfortable home. This is his 30th match on center court. He's lost only 3 times, and you had to be in the finals to beat him. Edberg twice, Stiek the 3rd time.
Oh.
Good idea, though, because Becker's nose is right on top of the net. He's not expecting that lob. He's trying to close in on for the passing shots.
Three-time champion Boris Becker. Andre Agassi, the 12th seed, in the lead here. Final set.
Oh.
Another backhand winner for Agassi.
Juice.
Using the pace of Becker's serve and catching the ball in the rise and driving it back before Becker really can get in the position he wants.
And seeing the ball early, seeing where it's going, what direction. I think Becker's best bet is that hard flat serve, because every time he puts a little spin on it, takes the pace off it, Andre has an answer. I like the flat one down the tee, down the middle of the court. That's his best serve.
A point to go 5-1 for Agassi. He's converted 5 of 11.
Well, he thought so too, Chrissy.
Andre Agassi now up 2 breaks. 5-1. If Agassi wins, it would assure an American in the Wimbledon finals for this 1992 championship. As McEnroe awaits the winner of this match, Pete Sampras plays Goran Ivanisevic in the other semifinal tomorrow. Hope you'll be with us. 1 o'clock Eastern time.
The last American was McEnroe in 1984.
The next year, Boris Becker, and it became the Becker-Edberg championships for the last several years until Stieg interrupted last year.
When was the last time we saw a baseliner in the semifinals on the men's draw? Bud?
Well, perhaps Bjorn Borg.
Connors would qualify.
Connors would certainly qualify, yeah.
A little while ago.
Although Bjorn did learn to those guys learned to come in more than Agassi.
Right. He is primarily, basically, a ground stroker.
39.
Andre Agassi, 3 points from the semis.
(30-15).
Two points from the semis. 30-15. Becker's shot catching the line, 30 all.
Gave him a few second serves.
Nick Bollettieri, Phil Agassi.
Woo. Match point Agassi. What a championship for relative outsiders. Number 12 seed Agassi. A point from the semis. McEnroe unseeded, already through. Just long.
Fault.
It's an overrule.
Chair umpire John Perry calling that a fault.
No, he has no business calling that. That's the sideline. I probably sound like a jingo American, but that's the sideline across the court from him. The sidelinesman has an excellent view, and he has no business overruling there.
Oh, it's not on match point. Just let me give you a little advice. Not on match point.
Fourth double fault, and a bit of bad luck for Andre Agassi. And let's see if Becker takes advantage.
Oh.
Oh, he had his chance. Set that volley up with such a beautiful topspin backhand. He has such variety on that side.
Cord.
And Becker finds the line. 2 match points gone.
Andre comes into the net, a rare sight, really, this match.
The net cord helps Becker.
And guessed the wrong way. He had to take one side or the other.
Oh, even then, Becker just caught the edge of the line.
Advantage Agassi.
Third match point. Agassi, that close to a date with his French doubles partner, John McEnroe. Boy, when you looked at the draw a week ago Monday, who would have thought that?
Oh, that's been Andre's bread and butter.
The luxury of being up 2 breaks, but you just can't see that many match points go away. That got to be thinking about it.
First service.
Becker has to be lifted by each one.
Well, he took his time on that point. Didn't rush it.
Advantage Agassi.
He actually waited to see where Boris was going before he hit the ball down the line.
Boris baselining.
The court was open.
Well, I think he changed his mind on that shot. Maybe a few shots. He had a few options. He could have hit a topspin lob or gone cross court.
A 12-stroke rally. How many of those has Boris been caught up in his Wimbledon history?
Becker in his 7th career Wimbledon quarterfinal. He's never lost in this round.
And a 3-time Wimbledon champion, finally with a game point, fighting off 4 match points.
Advantage Becker.
Becker going to the net where he feels most comfortable. And here's his draw volley that seems to be so effective on the grass courts. They're a little soft. The ball's just dying on the courts. It's a good play.
That's the way Becker has to play.
First service.
Boris Becker keeps it alive. 5-2 in the final set.
Boris Becker. 2-5.
15 on.
And the effect of Andre Agassi unable to convert any one of 4 match points. How will that wear on this match? Boris Becker still down a break.
Well, you go back to 1989 in Munich. Becker against Agassi, big Davis Cup match, semifinal. Brad Gilbert had beaten Charlie Stebb to give the United States a lead. Agassi won the first 2 sets, served for the match at 5-3 in the 3rd, and got 2 points away and didn't win, and that's haunted him.
That backhand wing has been brilliant. 32 winners from that side for Agassi.
And if Becker wants to hold his serve, he's got to get more first serves and a higher percentage. Andre is just too tough on those second serves.
A center court maven is Boris.
But his manager, Jan Tiriac, didn't feel that Becker was tournament tough enough. At Queens, he was beaten his first match by Christoph von Rensburg and hasn't played as much as Tiriac had hoped coming into Wimbledon. And it's shown. He struggled through this championship, but he is a 3-time champion, and we all know how tough he is coming from behind, and Agassi knows.
That's right, Dick. He's actually only had 11 matches since February, so his preparation hasn't been great. But Jan also, I asked him, how do you think he'll do? Your boy, Boris, and he says, oh, he didn't think he'd have any problems this match. He was already maybe thinking ahead a little bit at the McEnroe match.
Well, or how about even Isevich to have 2 of his pupils maybe get into the finals?
But Jan also says, when I tell Boris something, he does the opposite. Mind of his own. And all of Germany has Boris on the couch. They say he's a head case. He has imaginary injuries. They love him, but they also love to tear him down. It's a difficult position for an athlete. I don't think any American athlete is in a spot like that.
Becker.
Well, but I have to say Steffi Graf's in the same position.
Yes, of course.
Same position.
When you have a very prosperous, sport-loving country, and you're carrying that country, you are the 2 outstanding athletes in that country, that is rough. Well, one more chance.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
Serving for the match at 5-3. They played nearly 3 1/4 hours over 2 days. Is this the final game?
Beautiful shot by Andre. And he knows, he feels the pressure this game.
But he could wipe away a lot of the doubts and a lot of the knocks. People said he couldn't play on grass, couldn't win a match of this magnitude. But he also remembers beating Becker in the semifinals of the U.S. Open after losing the first set. What's Becker doing back there? Losing the point.
Well, this is what he's done the last 5 matches, just traded ground strokes with Andre.
This is what Chiriak just cannot understand. He says, my man's game is to get to the net. His game is not at the baseline, but he is stubborn.
Especially on grass. On grass, you really do have those opportunities. On a slower service, I can understand why he stays back. It's harder to get into the net.
Ooh!
But those shots are scaring him away from the net.
They're intimidating.
40 love.
Now will Boris come up in on this return? He almost has to.
Game, back, match, Agassi.
The 22-year-old slugger from Las Vegas, Nevada, Andre Agassi.
6-2.
A surprise visitor to the semifinals at Wimbledon. 6-3 in the final set over Boris Becker. Another ex-Wimbledon champion is down. For the first time in 10 years at Wimbledon, 3 Americans in the semifinals. Agassi will play McEnroe. Sampras against Isevich. And for Boris Becker and all his fans, the 24-year-old German, just not good enough to handle the blazing backhand power of Agassi. Andre Agassi, a big story in Wimbledon.
So Andre Agassi advances to his first ever Wimbledon semifinal, and next up for Andre, his doubles partner from the French Open, John McEnroe. Bud Collins is with our sometime broadcast partner now.
Congratulations, John. 6 set points against you in that tiebreaker. Have you ever done anything like that? Rallied from that?
I can't recall off the top of my head, but that was obviously the key moment of the match. And we came back at 5-all. We both had a night to sleep on it, and to come through after being down 6 set points was huge. I mean, to get up 2 sets of love, I think it discouraged him. I got an early break in the third. He did break back, but I think by that point I had really stamped my authority on it. And I had also knew that he had played quite a few long matches and been involved in a couple 5-set singles, a couple long doubles matches. So I figured if I just stuck with it, that I'd get my chance again.
We keep hearing about the vintage McEnroe, the old McEnroe, but is this a recycled new McEnroe that we're going to see a lot more of?
Well, I hope to be around, but I feel like if I can play tennis like this on a consistent basis, it would definitely inspire me to try to keep going. I mean, the traveling is tough, and being away from my family a lot is not really what I like to do, but when you're playing well and winning, that changes your attitude. At least you feel like it's more worthwhile than when you're going out there and losing so often. But having Tatum and one of my children here has been great, too.
Is it intoxicating now that you're playing so well when you thought it would be your swan song?
It's definitely tempting. It's definitely tempting to think about the future, but at the same time, I'm so focused in and trying to, like, somehow get to the finals here and win another match that I haven't thought about it a great deal, but it certainly makes the work that I put in the past 6-9 months working with Larry Stefanki, that really makes me feel better about all the work, because sometimes you wonder if it's all worth it, and now I feel like it's really paying off.
In Paris, you were urging your doubles partner at the time, Andre Agassi, to come into the net and volley, but he's probably not going to do that against you. Will that be strange?
It's going to be a big adjustment to play someone that serves and stays back on his first and second serve, but I do think he picks his spots. I mean, he's improved his volley a great deal in the last 6 months, and I feel like what he likes to do is sort of dictate the point and then come in and put away the volley. He's actually a pretty good volleyer now. So I don't expect him to serve and come in, but at the same time, if I hit a short ball, I do expect him to come in. And I don't expect him to give me any freebies as far as missing easy volleys. But I'm going to try to work really hard on my serve, because at this point, he's probably the world's best returner. He's taken Jimmy Connor's mantle over.
Guy Forget said he was so honored to be playing against you in this championship. How does that strike you?
It strikes me as sort of a little bit of gamesmanship before the match, but it's great. I mean, it's the ultimate compliment if players and fans are appreciative, but at the same time, I think we're all looking to get a little bit of the edge.
Thank you.